my name is Sassy V, and today I'm interviewing Brittany Skipper from the new VH1's show, Making Mr. Right. And today she invited us into her lovely home. It's absolutely beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
And from what I understand, you've also did a taping here.
I did. This is where we taped the first episode. So you'll see in the first episode the background package that kind of explains a little bit of what I'm about, and they taped it here in my home.
That is so awesome. Like, excited to actually be here on the set. It's very, very cool. So one of the things I wanted to talk about is, first of all, I want to kind of start from the beginning because I want everybody to kind of get to know you and know how you got started with everything. Is there tape on my lips?
No.
Well, okay. I just want to make sure. It's a long story. You don't want to know. But anyway, basically, how did you get started in acting and everything? Like, what got you started?
I'm actually a really horrible actor, but I started as a news anchor, and that's something that I've always wanted to do, is to be a TV host or a news anchor. And so I started doing that right after college, and then life happens, and I had Presley and got married, and then found myself eventually not married anymore, and many doors open for me as far as career goes. I was kind of thinking in my mind that I was going to be a stay-at-home mom for the rest of my life, and here I am now on Making Mr. Right, and so many possibilities for TV hosting.
How do you feel that the show has changed your life? Have you noticed differences in the way people treat you and opportunities that you've gotten, things like that?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like the show, it's neat. Doing reality is a lot different than being an actor because people get to know you and they get to know what you're all about, and that's one thing that I've really learned to love about reality TV. And it has opened a lot of doors because people have gotten to know me personally just by watching me on the show. And so I feel like, just from people getting to know who I am and what I'm all about, I've had so many people just willing to help in any way they can. It's just been such a blessing.
One thing I noticed that I was really impressed with is the fact that I watched the show just, a little bit, the snippets and everything, and of course, at the premiere.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that I was really impressed with was the fact that you're very humble. And a lot of times in the entertainment business, you don't see that. You get a lot of big heads and a lot of attitudes and a lot of, but you somehow remained down to earth. How do you do that? And, what do you attribute that to?
I feel like, having this opportunity, I'm just really lucky, and I have worked really hard, and I've done a lot of little small roles in the background of a music video, or just something where no one knew my name. I was just the girl in the background, and I feel just really blessed to have had this opportunity, and I don't feel that I deserved it any more than anyone else did, and so it really kind of fell in my lap. And so for me, I feel like I just have to be so grateful for the opportunity because I know how hard it is, in the entertainment industry. A lot of it is luck, and a lot of it is who you're networking with, and to have an opportunity like this doesn't come along every day. And so I'm just trying to soak it all in and just be grateful for every moment.
What would you say to anybody who's out there and they are a single mom and they want to be in the entertainment business and they're struggling with the fact that a lot of times people are like, well, you're a mom, you should just be at home and you shouldn't be doing the stuff you love. So what do you have to say to people that feel that way? Because there's a lot of people that you oh, one day I wish I could, but they always say, well, I can't because I'm a mom. And so what would be your advice to people out there? What would you say to anyone who says that?
Well, I would definitely say that, the entertainment industry isn't, they don't favor moms and families. They favor, young, sexy, and it's unfortunate, but there are so many avenues to go in if you are a mom or if you do have those traditional values, and it's all about finding those avenues. For me, I turned down a lot of work that were bikini modeling and Playboy and things like that were, what might have asked me to compromise my values as a mom and, just as somebody who's Christian. And I feel like it's been so important for me to take opportunities that allow me to let my light shine in a positive way. And so the more you do that, the more people learn what kind of work they can and can't give you. Mm-hmm. And so you'll find your way. If you want to do it, it's what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it.
Speaking on that subject, do you think that anyone who's maybe gone down the right path, that there's a way to turn that around as an actor or entertainer? Is there a way to change someone's image? If they kind of, you know, were a bad girl at one point in time. They did little crazy stuff. Do you think there's a way for them to change that in the way that people perceive them?
Of course. I think the decisions you make from this point on are what matters most. You know, I know a lot of my friends model, and I know a lot of young models. They start out just taking whatever jobs they can, and sometimes they feel like, okay, well, I have to take this job, even though it's compromising my values. I have to take it because that's what's available, and it's not necessarily true, because if you look hard enough, you'll meet the people and you'll find the avenues that will point you in a good, positive direction. And even if it's starting today doing that, I think anyone can turn an image around to be something positive, because really the entertainment industry and the media is such a powerful force, and if you can use that influence that you have in a positive way, I think that you'll stand out more than any girl who's just dressed sexy, you know?
Right. And, you know, one thing that I wanted to ask you is, you know, I know a lot of people out there, they kind of want to, you know, do what you're doing now. Like, they want to be in, you know, reality TV, or they want to be on, you know, some movie or television show. You know, doing a lot of auditions and things yourself.
Mm-hmm.
What would you recommend to somebody out there that's maybe new to this whole thing and they just want to do it, you know, but not sure?
Yeah, I mean, reality TV, you definitely have to be a little bit crazy to want to be on reality TV. But I would say that I've been blessed with a great show that didn't, you know, wasn't too crazy and really allowed me to be myself. And when you're doing reality TV, you have to be very comfortable with who you are, and you have to be very comfortable in your own skin. Mm-hmm. And so I would say to anyone who's interested in doing reality TV, to make sure they are comfortable in their own skin, make sure they have a strong idea of who they are, because it'll push you in lots of different ways, you know. And when you're on set and you're being interviewed, or when you're being forced to do one thing or another, you have to be really strong in your convictions. Mm-hmm. And so I would say, you know, if you're going to go to a reality TV interview, be yourself and let them know who you are right off the bat, and don't try to be anything other than you.
I think that's really good advice. That's like probably the best advice I've ever heard out there. So what do you have planned to do in the future? What's your, you know, future plans, you know, after the show and other things? Do you have plans to do stuff in San Diego? Are you thinking about moving, or what do you have planned to do?
San Diego is definitely my home. I was born and raised here, and so I'm a San Diego girl, and I always want this to be my home base. I do love traveling, and so if a job takes me one place or another, I'm always open to that. But I started out news anchoring, like I was saying before, and I would hope that I kind of go in the direction of TV hosting. I do have a kids entertainment company here in San Diego called Royal Entertainers, and we provide princesses for birthday parties, and all of my girls will go out and dress as princesses and sing and perform for kids at parties, and so I'll be continuing to do that. And then hopefully I can take on a few TV hosting gigs as well. So that's just sort of my comfort zone, something I've always done even before Mr. Right. So that'll be exciting to see what comes along.
Well, I'm sure that people would love to have you, because you're definitely, you know, a pleasure to be around. You're very humble and sweet. And speaking of that, I was reading up on some things, and there was something you never said. Like, I didn't know that you could sing and you could dance and do all those things, because once again, you're very humble. So I never, like, you're not one of those kind of people, I can do this, I can do that, you know, they're listening to the whole thing. Like, I mean, you know, people talk about what they do, but it's like the way that you handle yourself is just like, I didn't know you knew how to do all that. I had no idea, so I was like really surprised. So how did you get into singing? Like, how did you?
I've always, I feel like in one way or another, I've always loved performing. So whether it was TV hosting or news anchoring or singing and dancing, I feel like I've kind of gone down all sorts of avenues of entertaining. And I used to sing and dance for actually it was a local group called Music Machine down in Chula Vista, and we would tour all over the world. We would tour different countries and, you know, even nationally. And it was just something that I loved to do. It's sort of like a Glee, but back then it wasn't that cool.
Right.
Now Glee is like super cool.
Right.
But back then it definitely wasn't. I was like the nerdy one.
Right.
So.
And the nerdy one became beautiful girl, beautiful princess.
Oh, thank you. So it's just a passion of mine. And I feel like as of now, I don't want to spread myself too thin, so I haven't really been focusing on singing and dancing, even though it is something that I love to do. I'll just stay in my living room and do Just Dance 4 on the TV, I guess.
Well, do you think that maybe in the future we might like hear a future album from you?
Ooh,
Is that something you've ever thought?
you know, it's always crossed my mind, but something that I've never really pursued. And I've even had friends of mine that record things and ask me if I wanted to record a song. And I feel like, you know, it lately hasn't been on my priority list, but you just never know. And I'm so like, what can I do next? And what's next? So you never know, maybe.
Right. So then you're very unpredictable, so we have, you know, exciting times watching to see what's going to happen. That'll be great.
Definitely.
Wonderful. Was there anything that you wanted people to know about you as a person or as an actress and talent? Like, you're pretty much a triple threat. You know how to do it all. So.
Well, I would say that right now, you know, my biggest focus is making Mr. Right and just making sure that people watch the show. It's on VH1 Sundays at 9 p.m. And so definitely go on, watch the show. If you don't have cable, watch it online. And online on VH1.com, there's some sneak peeks of the next episodes. And go on and write comments, because VH1 loves to hear comments, and that might help me get a second season or maybe a hosting job. And so if you guys want to help, that would be awesome. You can also tweet me at Britt Skipper. So at Britt Skipper is my Twitter name, and BrittSkipper.com is my my website.
Very, very cool. Well, I think that's, I don't know, unless there's anything else you want to tell the world. I think that we pretty much covered most of it all. So I'm glad that we had a chance to interview you, and thanks for inviting me into your beautiful home. And I had a great time, and hopefully everybody enjoyed the interview, and stay tuned till next time.
All right. Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Bye.